Hey guys, welcome to the video and welcome to a beautiful day in Kansas City today. We've got the Expedition chilling in his driveway. We've got the X5 over here. So first thing I wanted to talk about today is, if you saw my first video, I unboxed and used this Ryobi electric pressure washer. So I made a minor upgrade to it. So you can see this is the gun that it comes with out of the box. Little unwieldy for car washes. So what I got is just this little gun from Amazon. This was about 30 bucks, so pretty cheap upgrade for it. Much easier to wield while washing the cars. Actually haven't got to use it yet, but I'm planning to use it today to do a quick wash of the Expedition. It's a little bit of a weird weather week here in Kansas City. Actually, on Tuesday we had several inches of snow on the ground in the morning, and then by afternoon it looked like spring again. But we had to take out the X5. As you can see, it got a little bit dirty. So what we're going to try out today is this Adams waterless wash, and we're just going to see if it'll get those kind of water spots and stuff off of that and make that look good again. Before we get to any of that, I've got a few errands to run, so you guys are going to ride along with me. Let's go. So first item on the agenda today is the Expedition is low on gas, as you can see, so we're going to head to the gas station and take care of that problem. Alright, so finished getting gas. In case you're curious here, gas is $2.69. It was a little over 50 bucks to fill up the Expedition, so not too bad at all for something this big. Gas mileage overall, this averages somewhere around 16, so pretty decent for something this big. So while I was fueling up, I got very excited because I got a text from my dealer that sold me the T-Rex with a status update. When I saw his name pop up on my messages, I got really excited for a second, but unfortunately the update was just that there is no update. No update on the expected arrival or any kind of status update on the build. So still just playing the waiting game and being patient with the TRX. All right guys, next up is it's time for coffee, and you'll see this long line. Looks ridiculous, but actually it's relatively short. So while I've got you guys along in the car with me today, I figured I'd do something a little bit different and just explain to you guys, what it is that I do for a living. So like I've said, I live in Kansas City with my wife, and we have a 3-year-old and another one on the way in October. So we're in the toddler stage with one and just getting ready to go back to the baby stage later this year. So lots of changes coming later this year for sure. So what I do for a living is I'm actually a software engineer, and that's not what I went to school for originally. My first college degree was in accounting. So I grew up in a very small town in central Kansas, grew up on a farm there. And after I finished that degree, I kind of figured out accounting really wasn't something I was excited to be doing. So I ended up going back to the farm for a few years, and then kind of got tired of it out there. And at that time, decided to go back and get a computer science degree and get into coding and software development and all of that. So computers have been something I've always had kind of a passion for. I can remember back when we first got our first modem, and the internet was new, and I would teach myself how to build web pages and stuff just by looking at the source of other pages. And if you guys remember this time, you can remember GeoCities and all this stuff. GeoCities and SimpleNet for all this stuff for building your own websites. So I was really into that back in the day. So all through high school, I always thought that was something I kind of wanted to do, but people always seem to kind of steer me away from it, because it's like, oh, all those jobs are going to get outsourced. There's not going to be any IT jobs by the time you get out of school, and they could not have been more wrong. So like I said, after a few years back on the farm, I got back into school, spent a couple years getting my computer science degree. I'd always done pretty well in school, but once I got into something that I was really interested, I just crushed it as far as grades and everything. So I got recruited for tech jobs all over Kansas City. I ended up taking my first job here, and me and my wife, who was my fiance at the time, moved up here. Have been doing it ever since. That was a little over 8 years ago, which is hard to believe. In that time, the longest stint I've had was at a software consulting company, which was really good experience because I kind of got to move around all around different businesses in Kansas City, doing different type of just enterprise projects, both front end and back end. When I say front end, I mean the UI. When I say back end, I mean like the server and database that kind of powers all the data that gets fed to the UI. So like I said, been doing that for 8 years. Bringing it to present day, I'm working for one of my first bosses. He had a new startup 3 or 4 years ago, and you know, it's an ag tech company now. It started as basically just an ag trials company where, you know, companies, they have new products, they need to recruit growers to try those out in their farms. So that's basically what they did, and that's how they started. How I got started in their business is they needed to build a basically an entire data ingestion system. So I built, you know, a UI where their growers could go and send them their data. For these trials, they have just all these data points for when they plant, when they apply the chemical, when they harvest, and they put all these together and they spit out a report at the end of the year. So my job in this was first building the UI, building the whole system to handle processing all that data and putting it in a way that we could visualize it, and also our users could visualize it. So basically built that whole system from nothing. It was something that didn't exist before, and that's why this job has been probably the most interesting job I've had so far in the field, and learned a lot along the ways. So it started off just me managing all of the AWS infrastructure, also building the front end, working on the back end, so basically full stack, all JavaScript stuff, and then working with the databases as well. What's really cool is we've got a lot of geospatial data, so a lot of stuff that you put on maps and can visualize and do all kinds of kind of cool stuff with. One of the best parts about my job is I also get to work with my brother, who is also doing software development. I actually got him started 4 or 5 years ago. I got him his first development job at the consulting firm I was at before, and when we had spots open up on the team for my new job, he followed me along there. So I've been there about 1.5 years. I'm the director of IT as my title. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit better idea about what I do. If you guys are interested in me talking more about the software development or software engineering in future vlogs, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to include more of that. All right, so we've acquired the coffee and time to roll back home. All right, guys, we made it back to the garage, and now we're gonna work on the waterless wash that we're gonna do on the X5. So I've got the spray, I've got this, let me lay this out, this edgeless microfiber utility towel from Adams, which is very cool. So you can see all the water spots and stuff on here. It looks like that's really easy to see on camera. So we'll take our spray and just cover this area here. Take our towel and see how this looks after. Smells really good, which is I found to be kind of par for the course with all the Adams products for sure. Let's get the rest of that wiped in. All right, take a look. Looks really good. There's a couple small spots here and there, but I mean, really, I'd say this stuff works pretty well. So it's one of those things that if it's just a little dirty, you don't have to do a full wash. Just spray on a little of this and wipe it off, and you're good to go. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap things up for today's video. Appreciate you tagging along with me. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.